Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're talking about another new number one. And this time it's one of four, and that is Batman Europa issue number one. That's right, guys. Here on the cover, you get to see Batman looks like he's fighting against the Joker. And this book is written by Matteo Caselli and Brian Azzarello. The layouts are done by Giuseppe Comicoli, who's currently the artist of The Amazing Spider-Man. And the pencils and the finishes are done by Jim Lee, and the colors are done by Alex Sinclair. Um, I think also the letters are pretty cool in here too. Um, by Pat Brosseau, as you get Killer Croc in this issue, and he makes his sound very very eerie the way he speaks. So the letters are pretty cool in here as well. Um, Artistically, Jim Lee's artwork is here, but I feel like that the colors are very like muddy a little bit, and things seemed a little bit blurred. And maybe it's on purpose, and I'll kind of explain why in this particular book. Because really, Batman isn't quite right. He's sick in this issue. So maybe it's just a way of him on how he sees things. I'm not really sure, but when you look at this book, the artwork is not nearly as crisp as it should. The art is nice though, and you can totally tell that it is the Jim Lee artwork that we all know and love. But it's all, again, it's all a little bit muddied, a little bit blurred, and you get to see some cool fight scenes in the beginning here. When Batman is facing off against Joker, but the facial expressions are awesome. Like Joker looks creepy, he looks eerie, and so I had mixed feelings about how the artwork turned out in this book, and one of the reasons why I bought this book was because of Jim Lee's artwork. So how was this story? What was it about? Well, in the beginning of this book, you wind up seeing Joker and Batman going face to face with each other. So something was going on in the beginning of this book. So whether it's the end of the series, you're not sure because in the beginning of this book, it switches over to what is otherwise known the title page as Berlin. So obviously you find out that yes, it looks like Batman's going to travel to Europe and whatnot, but it starts off with a battle against Killer Croc, and wasn't one of the another series that Jim Lee drew that had Killer Croc in the beginning of it? Was it Hush, Batman Hush? And so you start seeing him do battle against Killer Croc here, and Batman is weak. You find out that he's weak. He can't fight correctly. He's having trouble against Killer Croc. He puts him down, but there's something wrong with him. And you find out that Alfred calls Batman or Bruce to the Batcave. And we find out that there is a computer virus, otherwise known as Colossus. But it's also not just a thing that's affecting the computer. It's also a virus known of what's inside Bruce. And if he doesn't get rid of this virus or doesn't find some kind of cure, you find out that yes, he could die within a week. So we find out that all this information that he has to go to is he has to go to Berlin. So that's where he travels to try to get some answers in the book. So as he travels and tries to get some information, he comes across the Joker here. And the Joker is kind of torturing someone to get some answers. And it's her name is Nina, and she's kind of like a hacker. And she gets paid good money to put this information on different servers or whatnot, and she really doesn't have information for the Joker and Batman because Batman obviously meets up with the Joker eventually, and we find out in the issue that Joker has contracted the virus as well, and him and Batman now have to work together to try to solve what's going on inside their body and to get rid of this virus. And that's basically how the issue ends. And the dialogue was cool at the end of this book because he's just like, oh, well, wait. He's like, us both? You're saying you need me? He's like, I'm touched. So I thought that was pretty cool that the Batman and the Joker are going to have to work with each other. I thought this was a good book. I don't think it was like utterly fantastic. I think it was like a 4-star book, but I was a little disappointed. I paid $5 for this book, and the story didn't like blow me away. There's certain things that we've seen here before. Batman versus Killer Croc. The artwork was a little bit muddy. Again, if it was done on purpose because Batman's not quite right, he's not seeing things right, he's blurred. Maybe that's the kind of feel that they're going for there. When it comes to the colors and stuff, I don't. I like the crispness of art that Jim Lee puts in his books. So I just thought that was a little bit off. And there wasn't a lot of dialogue in this book. It was very little dialogue, and you read it within 5 minutes. And the plot isn't overly, there's not a real hardcore plot going on here. It's Batman contracts a virus. He meets up with the Joker. The Joker has the virus. Now they gotta stop it. And that's basically this story in the nutshell there. So for $5, I don't get why we were charged that. Was it because of the glossy cover? Like, what made this book so special for that extra dollar? I don't think it justifies it here. So again, it was a good story. I'll be reading it going forward. I just don't think it was that high caliber book that I was kind of expecting here. So again, 4 out of 5-star books, enjoyable read. You guys make a decision if you want to buy this or not. Is it worth your hard-earned cash? And guys, leave me those comments below what you thought of Batman Europa issue number 1. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. Till that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.